I just kept quiet and accepted it. Because some feelings are too fragile to speak aloud. They live in the corners of our hearts, quietly shaping our thoughts, our smiles, our restless nights. There's a beauty in silent longing. A secret garden that only I can wander, where each whisper of desire blooms in solitude. I watched moments slip like golden light through my fingers, choosing to savor them from afar rather than risk breaking their delicate magic. I traced imagined conversations, replayed invisible touches, and let my heart write poems that no one else would ever read. There is a certain strength in restraint, a courage that comes from loving without expectation, and from keeping a treasure tucked safely inside. Sometimes, I wonder if the world would understand the depth of a smile given in secret, a gaze that lingers but never lands, a warmth that exists without ever needing recognition. It is not sadness, it is a quiet, steady devotion. A symphony played only for me. A secret song that reminds me I am alive, that I am capable of feeling something so profound without it needing to be returned. So I kept quiet. I accepted it, and in that silence, I discovered a universe of feeling that was mine alone, rich and infinite, teaching me patience, hope, and the exquisite ache of a heart that loves deeply, even when no one else knows. There is a certain gravity in silence that few ever truly notice, a quiet weight that lingers like the soft hum of a distant melody. Silence is not emptiness, it is a language in itself, spoken in the spaces between words, in the pauses of a breath, in the stillness that stretches long after a glance has been stolen and returned. It is in these moments, when the world demands sound and reaction, that silence becomes a sanctuary. A place where feelings can grow without interruption, where longing can exist without the risk of being misunderstood or dismissed. To remain quiet is not always weakness. Sometimes it is the most powerful declaration of all, a subtle assertion that some emotions are too vast, too delicate, too precious to be exposed to the rawness of the world. In silence, desires are allowed to take shape slowly, unfurling like petals in the hidden garden of the heart. Every unspoken thought, every feeling kept behind closed lips, gains a weight and a texture that words often fail to capture. There is intimacy in this quietude, a sacred connection with oneself that cannot be replicated by the clamor of conversation or the noise of attention. To remain silent is to honor the purity of emotion, to let it breathe and move without interference, to let it exist in its truest form. The eyes can speak where the lips cannot, and in those fleeting glances, the soul whispers its secrets with a tenderness that words could never achieve. Silence also offers perspective, a space to witness the ebb and flow of feelings without acting on impulse, without forcing expression where it might break or diminish. There is an elegance in watching quietly, in tracing invisible lines between moments, imagining possibilities, exploring them in the hidden chambers of the mind. The world may never know the depth of what lives there, yet the heart recognizes it, cradles it, and lets it become part of its rhythm. In those silent moments, there is a rare courage, a bravery that does not clamor for acknowledgement, but exists simply because it can, because it must, because some truths are too sacred to be shared. And there is a strange joy in the stillness, a soft thrill in knowing that even in silence, love and longing can shape every thought, every breath, every movement. The quiet becomes a canvas, the imagination a brush, and the feelings, vivid and unspoken, paint a story of devotion that no one else can witness. It is a story written in pauses, in restraint, in the subtle beauty of emotions held close. The heart, even when unseen and unheard, is alive in ways that words could never measure, carrying within it a universe that exists only in silence, profound and unbroken. There is a unique kind of tenderness that exists when devotion is kept private, a devotion that blooms quietly in the heart, untouched by expectation or scrutiny. It is the subtle thrill of caring deeply for something, or someone without ever needing it to be noticed, a soft fire that warms in silence and never demands recognition. This private devotion is a secret garden, hidden from the world's relentless gaze, where every feeling is nurtured with care, where longing is allowed to exist in its purest, most honest form. In this sacred space, love is not measured by gestures or declarations, it is measured by the depth of attention, the constancy of thought, the willingness to carry something precious without claiming it. To cherish in secret is to discover a rare intimacy with one's own heart. Every smile remembered, every imagined touch, every fleeting glance becomes a jewel stored safely within, polished by the quiet attention paid to it day after day. There is a gentle strength in this kind of devotion, a resilience built from the knowledge that love can exist, fully, deeply, without needing to be mirrored or returned. The heart learns patience, learning to find satisfaction not in possession, but in the very act of holding something close, tenderly, in the hidden corners of its being. Private devotion transforms the ordinary into the extraordinary. The smallest details, a soft laugh, the way sunlight touches hair, the memory of a moment shared in passing, take on monumental significance when held privately. They become treasures, quietly celebrated in the mind, revisited like a secret song that no one else knows. There is a richness to these private joys, an elegance in knowing that the act of feeling is itself enough, that the value of love is not diminished because it is unseen. In some ways, it is more powerful precisely because it is hidden. It does not demand acknowledgement, and thus it is free to grow, to deepen, to flourish unbounded by the expectations of the outside world. This devotion also teaches the art of humility and grace. It is a gentle surrender, the ability to love fully, without insisting on reciprocation, to nurture silently without seeking reward. There is a dignity in this kind of love, a quiet nobility that is impossible to achieve, when every emotion is laid bare for the world to judge. It becomes a reflection of the inner self, a testament to the capacity to feel deeply and purely, to hold beauty in one's heart, even when it cannot be shared. In those private moments of affection and longing, the heart is both vulnerable and invincible, carrying within it a quiet universe of warmth, hope, and unspoken devotion, rich beyond measure, precious beyond words. There is a quiet power in restraint, a subtle courage that does not shout or demand attention, yet carries a weight heavier than words. To hold back, to resist the impulse to reach out, to speak, to claim. This is a strength that few recognize, yet it shapes the heart in ways that bold actions alone never could. It is not born of fear, nor is it born of weakness. It is born of reverence, of understanding that some feelings are too delicate, too profound, too luminous to be handled carelessly. In choosing to restrain oneself, there is an act of love, not just for the one who inspires it, but for the purity of the feeling itself. Strength in restraint transforms longing into a quiet, almost sacred art. Every glance that lingers, every thought that drifts, every heartbeat that quickens in secret becomes part of a disciplined devotion. There is a rhythm to this restraint, a pulse of patience that teaches the heart how to carry desire without breaking under it. It is a balancing act, holding the intensity of feeling while resisting the urge to let it spill into the world prematurely. The world is full of clumsy confessions, of gestures that arrive too soon, of hearts that give themselves away before they are ready. To remain silent, to wait, to guard one's emotions, is to honor both the depth of feeling and the fragility of what is loved. Restraint also offers clarity. When one does not rush to speak or act, the mind and heart are free to see the contours of longing more clearly, to understand what it truly means, to feel its weight without distortion. Every unspoken word, every withheld touch, every careful step in silence becomes a study in self-awareness, a testament to the ability to love with patience rather than impulse. In this way, restraint is not absence, it is presence of a higher order, an acknowledgement that love, when handled with care, can grow more profound in the quiet than it ever could in the noise. There is a beauty in the subtle heroism of restraint. It teaches the heart endurance, the kind that cannot be measured by grand gestures, but by quiet consistency. The heart learns to carry longing as one would carry a fragile glass, with steady hands, with awareness of its weight, with care for its integrity. Each day that passes without a confession, without a reveal, is a testament to the courage that lives in silence, the bravery that exists in patience, the quiet fortitude of knowing that some treasures are worth keeping hidden, even from the one who inspires them. And in the stillness of restraint, there is an intimacy with the self. One comes to understand the true shape of desire, the depth of emotion, and the profound strength that comes not from acting, but from holding, from waiting, from allowing the heart to burn softly, steadily, without ever consuming itself in its own fire. It is a strength that lives in whispers and in glances, in shadows, and in thoughts that no one else can see. Yet it leaves an indelible mark on the soul, shaping it, enriching it, making it capable of a love that is both infinite and enduring. There is a magic in the landscapes of the mind, a place where longing and desire take form with vivid clarity, untethered by reality. Internal imagination is a world unto itself, a sanctuary where the heart is free to explore, to dream, to wander without hesitation or judgment. In that private realm, every touch, every glance, every whispered word can be imagined perfectly, crafted with the precision that reality rarely allows. It is here, in this secret theater of the mind, that desires are given their fullest expression, where longing can be sculpted and replayed endlessly, untouched by the imperfections of the outside world. The imagination becomes a companion, a confidant that holds the unspoken dreams of the heart with gentle care. It allows one to rehearse moments that may never arrive, to trace invisible paths between hearts, to wander along possibilities that exist only in thought. Every imagined conversation becomes a melody, every fantasy a poem, every fleeting touch a spark that warms from within. The mind, in its quiet intimacy, transforms absence into presence, distance into closeness, solitude into a delicate kind of intimacy that is uniquely one's own. In these moments, the heart feels alive in ways that the ordinary world could never provide, and the soul drinks deeply from the well of its own longing. There is a freedom in internal imagination, a freedom that comes from knowing that one can feel fully without consequence, that one can explore the depths of desire without risk, without fear, without disappointment. It allows the heart to take chances it would never dare in the waking world, to create and savor perfection in moments that reality might spoil. Each imagined interaction carries a weight, a meaning, and a beauty that is heightened precisely because it exists in secret. The heart learns to revel in these private journeys, finding satisfaction, not in the attainment of love, but in the richness of its experience, in the intensity of feeling that is fully owned, fully understood, fully cherished. Internal imagination also sharpens perception. In imagining, one notices subtleties that reality often overlooks. The curve of a smile, the warmth of a presence, the rhythm of a voice that lingers in memory. It teaches the heart to observe, to appreciate, to treasure the smallest details that make longing feel profound and alive. Even the simplest imagined gestures take on monumental significance, becoming symbols of devotion. Proof that the heart can find its own joy in the invisible, the intangible, the unreal. And in the quiet of the mind, imagination becomes a kind of love letter to oneself, a way to nurture desire without demanding its fulfillment, to honor the depth of feeling without exposure, to hold beauty close where it will never be diminished. It is in these private visions that longing is most pure, most honest, most untamed, yet contained within the sanctuary of thought, allowing the heart to flourish, to burn, to dream endlessly without ever breaking. There is a quiet alchemy that occurs when love is kept unspoken, a transformation that the heart undergoes in solitude, shaping not just emotion but character itself. To love without speaking, without revealing, is to embark on a journey inward, a path where longing becomes a teacher and silence becomes a guide. Each unvoiced desire, each hidden devotion, challenges the heart to grow stronger, more patient, more aware of the nuances of feeling. It is a love that does not seek reward or recognition, and in that very restraint, it cultivates a resilience and wisdom that cannot be learned in the glare of attention or the noise of reciprocation. Unspoken love teaches patience in its purest form. To carry emotion privately is to learn the art of waiting, of letting moments arrive without forcing their passage. The heart becomes attuned to subtle shifts, to the rhythm of fleeting encounters, to the unspoken language of glances and gestures. It learns to measure depth not by overt affirmation but by quiet presence, by the ability to hold affection steadily, without the need for confirmation. Every unspoken thought becomes a small act of discipline, every restrained impulse a testament to the heart's growing capacity to endure and appreciate the richness of feeling. This love also nurtures introspection. In the absence of expression, the heart must turn inward, examining not just the object of affection but the self that loves. It asks questions about motives, about desires, about the way longing shapes identity. It discovers strength where vulnerability was thought to reside, and clarity where confusion once lingered. The act of loving silently becomes a mirror, reflecting not only what is desired, but the depth of one's own capacity to feel, to care, to hope without expectation. It is a profound education in emotional intelligence, an understanding that the value of love is not diminished by secrecy, but often enhanced by the integrity with which it is held. Unspoken love deepens empathy and sensitivity. By practicing quiet devotion, the heart becomes attuned to subtleties that are easily overlooked. The way a smile lingers, the hesitation in a gesture, the small expressions that reveal hidden truths. The mind becomes more observant, the soul more compassionate, because it has learned to notice without demanding, to cherish without claiming, to feel without controlling. There is a richness to this growth, an elegance in the way it shapes character, creating a self that is both tender and resilient, capable of experiencing intensity without being consumed by it. And in this silence, in this patient nurturing of private emotion, the heart discovers an enduring strength, a depth of feeling that transcends circumstance, a quiet confidence born not from possession or reward, but from the simple act of allowing oneself to feel fully, honestly, and completely. It is a transformation that cannot be rushed, that cannot be forced, but that leaves the soul richer, more aware, and infinitely more alive in the profound beauty of love that exists even when unspoken. There is a universe that exists quietly within the heart, a world composed of unspoken words, lingering glances, and invisible touches that no one else can ever see. It is a universe built from longing and imagination. A hidden cosmos where emotions flare and settle with a rhythm all their own. In this private realm, every heartbeat carries significance. Every memory radiates color, and every feeling is amplified by the freedom of concealment. The hidden universe is not lonely, it is alive, vibrant, and intimate, a sanctuary where desire and devotion can flourish without compromise, untouched by the judgments or interruptions of the outer world. Within this secret universe, emotions take on a purity that the external world rarely allows. There is no need for validation, no pressure to act, no fear of rejection. The heart can explore its depths fully, unrestrained by expectation or consequence. Every unspoken word becomes a star. Every imagined touch a planet, and together they form constellations of devotion that are visible only to the soul. In this hidden world, love and longing are not measured by what is seen or acknowledged, but by the intensity with which they are felt, by the beauty inherent in the experience itself. The heart learns to treasure not the response it receives, but the existence of feeling itself, and in that realization, it discovers a richness that the world cannot take away. There is a freedom in a universe that is hidden, a freedom born of the absence of scrutiny. Here, the heart can dream endlessly, explore possibilities without risk, and allow passion to exist in its purest form. The imagination expands, painting entire landscapes of memory, desire, and hope, where every glance, every smile, every imagined interaction carries weight and meaning. The hidden universe is a testament to the human capacity to love fully and deeply, even when love is not declared or reciprocated. It is a place where devotion can grow wild and unbound, yet remain gentle and sacred, a private masterpiece woven from longing, patience, and imagination. This hidden world also teaches appreciation for subtlety, for the understated beauty of what is unseen. The heart learns to notice the small, delicate moments. The way light falls on a memory, the echo of a smile in the mind, the warmth of imagined closeness, and to find satisfaction in them. It becomes capable of feeling profound joy and deep tenderness without needing them to be validated. A skill that fosters resilience and grace. In cherishing what is hidden, the heart discovers an elegance in restraint, a quiet sophistication in knowing that beauty can exist without being displayed, that depth can thrive without being measured, that love can endure without being spoken. And in this private universe, the heart is both creator and witness, holding within itself a cosmos of feeling that is infinite in scope yet intimately personal. Every secret longing, every quiet devotion, every imagined encounter adds to the richness of this inner world, making it a place of endless wonder and emotional abundance. It is a universe where the heart can live fully, love fully, and feel fully, all in silence, all in solitude, and all in the exquisite beauty of a world that exists solely for the soul that dares to inhabit it. And so, I kept quiet and accepted it, not out of weakness, but out of reverence for the depths of what I felt. In that quiet, I discovered worlds within myself, landscapes of longing, patience, and imagination that no one could take away. I learned that love does not always need to be spoken to be profound, that devotion need not be declared to be real, and that the heart can grow stronger, wiser, and more alive in the spaces where silence reigns. Thank you for listening, for allowing yourself to step quietly into this hidden universe with me, even for a moment. May you carry a piece of this silence, this gentle courage, this tender longing, in your own heart, and may it remind you that some of the most powerful feelings are those we nurture quietly, with care, with patience, and with unspoken devotion. Goodbye for now, and may your heart always find beauty in the quiet, and strength in the unseen. thank you.